Quick question. What is your favorite brand of soda? Mine? I don't drink soda. But my favorite fictional brand is the Bonk Atomic Punch, which, in my opinion, is Scout's best secondary weapon, and his most overlooked. Here's why. First, I gotta give a brief history on the Bonk. The Bonk Atomic Punch was added to the game on February 24th, 2009, during the Scout update, and the stats read as follows. Well, they aren't really stats, rather a line of descriptive text that describes the effects of the weapon. Okay, here it is. Drink to become invulnerable for 8 seconds, and you cannot attack during this time. The Bonk has a 1.2 second consumption time, 22 second recharge time, and an 8 second effect duration. And that's it. Yep, nothing really that special.
Objection! Wait, what about after you drink the bonk? Isn't there an effect that is given to the player after the bonk's invulnerability effect ends?
Oh, yes, and it's a pretty weird one. After 8 seconds of invulnerability, the Scout is afflicted with a crippling slowness effect, similar to the Natasha when a player is hit by the bullets fired from it. The intensity of the effect changes depending on the amount of damage that was absorbed while you were under the effects of the bonk. If you tanked 1 sticky bomb or a rocket, the effect will be mild. However, if you manage to tank 3, potentially 4 rockets or stickies, you might find yourself losing a running race with a heavy. You used to be able to completely negate the effects of this slowness debuff by rapidly strafing left and right, and the same could be said for the Natasha's slowness effect. However, this, I believe, has since been patched. Okay, we know what it does. Now how do we use it? And what makes me think it's Scout's best secondary weapon? To answer that question, I'm going to respond with my own question. What is Scout's biggest weakness? Health. Being tied for the lowest health in the game, along with 3 other classes, being Sniper, Spy, and Engineer, Scout struggles with surviving in and out of fights. 2 rockets or 2 shotgun shots, and Scout is dead. Kaput. Some people will try to tell you that the pocket pistol or the Mad Mill greatly assists in this aspect, and they might be right. But what is better? Not taking any damage at all, or putting yourself in harm's way in order to deal damage to get health back. The Bonk allows Scout to enter and, more importantly, escape situations that would be impossible for the Scout to escape previously. For example, let's say the Scout just finished a fight with a pretty M1 happy Pyro and is now dying from afterburn. You run to a health pack and boom, a soldier meets with you halfway there, looking to top off his health after a rocket jump. You're low on health, burning, and time is running out. With no other option, you quickly drink the Bonk, and the soldier comes crashing towards you. After a well-placed rocket jump, of course. You slurp down that good old troll juice, and kaboom! You're safe! You quickly run to the health pack and survive the afterburn, and the soldier bomb. Now, let's say you were using another secondary in that situation. You would most certainly be dead. The soldier or the Pyro's afterburn would have killed you. But thanks to the Bonk, you're safe. And that, my friends, is possibly the greatest strength of this fantastic weapon. That ain't it, though. The Bonk is also great for getting in, but it is very, very risky. If you just run right past your enemies without a second thought, they're just going to chase you down, and as the engineer says from Team Fortress 2,
I'm gonna beat you like a rented mule, boy.
You need to be smart when consuming our Bonk to enter the fight. Timing is incredibly important as well, along with staying out of sight. When drinking the Bonk in this way, the intention is not to get hit or to get noticed. The Bonk here is used as a safety net to completely negate any damage so that we can get to the backline without losing any health in the process. Take the flank to enter the backline or pass by a sniper sightline. Why do that, you might be asking? Well, what is a sniper going to do to you? Headshot you while you effectively have a sub-uber active? Just pass the fool and top the man with 2 clean meat shots. Just don't get quickscoped. Throw out some tricky movement in order to throw off the aim of the sniper at close range. And whatever you do, never, and I mean never, run in a straight line. Certified easiest way to get a headshot, trust me. Serpentine and random jagged turns can really confuse the enemy snipers. Oh, and you could just move like a spastic little gremlin and give the sniper a heart attack. Something I said before, though, may have caught your eye, or rather, your ear. I said that, in this instance, we don't want to absorb damage when entering the enemy backline, obviously. But does that mean that there are times when we do want to absorb damage? And if so, why would and when would we ever do this? Explosives hurt, like a lot, and so do bullets. But when we are given a way to completely prevent them from hurting us, could we possibly use that ability to save our teammates? Why yes we can. And this is where we want to absorb damage. When a team fight is in progress or is just beginning, we can drink the bonk and take the reins of the fight and absorb the incoming attacks to help cushion the blow for our teammates. A selfless act, yes, and possibly a foolish one. Don't do this and expect to survive. This little act of protection is probably going to result in your death, as the slow will be insane. But there is a way to escape these situations while under the bonk's effect and still help your team. By pressing crouch and space at the same time, we can surf off enemy damage and fly in a direction of our choosing. This is commonly known as damage surfing, and with the bonk, it is made even easier, as damage surfing usually requires you to take damage, and potentially a large amount of that. With the bonk, however, we can just fly out with style, no damage taken, and all we have to deal with is the speed debuff. I wanted to briefly talk about the speed debuff, as it is the bonk's official only downside. And I don't think it's that bad. If you hide away for the duration of the debuff, or run to spawn, you don't really have to worry about much. However, if the debuff is in effect while the enemies are hunting you down and searching for your scooty booty, that's where it can be problematic. There's very little chance that you're going to get out of there alive. Who knows the age-old strategy of the distraction sentry, used by the battle engineers when attempting to escape? With the bonk, we can very effectively replicate this without any downside, unlike the engineer, having to use his metal in order to save himself. The distraction scout. This is kinda just you running at the enemy and preventing them from moving forward by placing your tiny and annoying scout body in front of the enemy's attacks, and bodies as well, and blocking them from reaching your team. A small thing the bonk can do, but it is an incredibly effective method of taking down sentry nests if you work with your team. Most community members, such as other YouTubers or just generally good players, will consider the use of the bonk itself as a downside, as now you have no secondary weapon to fight with. But if you're like me and have a tough time using damage-dealing secondary weapons in the first place, this is not a factor. For me, the bonk is a get-out-of-jail-free card for when you face an interaction that you surely will die from, a tool to distract the enemy and help out my team, and an all-around good tool to use when penetrating the enemy's defenses effectively. I believe I've covered all that can really be done with the bonk. If I've missed anything, please tell me. However, I hope this video has changed your mind on the long-forgotten and forsaken weapon, the Bonk Atomic Punch. The bonk isn't like the other weapons in Team Fortress 2. It isn't even a weapon. It's just a nice soft drink. Well, one very radioactive one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, consider leaving a like, a comment, and potentially subscribe. But it's all up to you. It helps out the channel quite a ton. And may God bless you, and have a wonderful day, my friends. See you next time. Chuck out.